Right now, Frozen Assets is on this weekend, but not on ice like they normally are. Braden Ross shows us how they managed. Also today, the Super Bowl brought the community together for ceramic bowls, food, and music, all for a good cause. And later, the U.S. and U.K. have together launched retaliatory airstrikes on Iranian-backed targets after the drone strike that killed 3 U.S. service members. That's all coming up at 10. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. The 12th annual Frozen Assets Festival brought people to Edgewater again this year, but this time it looked a little different than it usually does. Braden Ross has the story.
Hundreds of people will still come through the Edgewater today to celebrate Madison's lakes, even if the Frozen Assets Festival is a little less frozen than usual.
It being a really warm day.
It's safe to say this is the warmest Frozen Assets Festival on record, and that means it had to look a little different this year.
We've had to pivot a little bit this year with the changing weather. But, you always have to change for weather in Wisconsin.
Executive Director of Clean Lakes Alliance, James Ty, says they've been checking in on the ice for weeks leading up to Frozen Assets, keeping safety top of mind.
The lake is actually pretty thick right now. It's about 7 to 6 inches in front of the Edgewater. It's the integrity of the ice.
Because while they'd love to have people out on the lake, they're trying to keep people out of it.
We worked with our meteorologists on staff and go, hey, let's just be super cautious and not put 1,000 people out on the lake.
So instead of the usual Frozen 5K on the lake, Clean Lakes Alliance brought people to the lake shore for the largest winter workout in Madison, plus tons of other activities to celebrate and learn about Madison's lakes.
On land, doing a workout, doing kids crafts, and a lot of the science that's coming from University of Wisconsin. We've got the physics lab.
And Frozen Assets is so much more than just a fun time. It's also a fundraiser for Clean Lakes Alliance.
We put all that money back into the community through advocacy, education, monitoring, and grants to do projects throughout the community.
Because whether the lakes are frozen or not, Ty says they always need our help.
It's really important. Learn what you can do as an individual to protect our lakes now and forever.
Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
If you'd like to support Clean Lakes Alliance or learn more about Madison's lakes, you can find all the information you need online at cleanlakesalliance.org. Now, as for why the temps were so warm today, now's a good time to hand it over to meteorologist Alex Harrington, who's got your first one forecast. First off, Alex, how's it feeling out there?
Feels great. For February on the patio, this time, last year, polar plunge type temperatures.
Yeah.
Out here, perfect. Can't be beat for this time of year. And I do have an answer as to why we're seeing the lakes quickly thin, all this snow melting. Let's go right to graphics right now. It's because we had a big temperature swing here. Look at that. Right around Sunday, 121, January 21st, we had a high of 20. That was 10 degrees, almost 10 degrees below normal. A few days before that, we were in the single digits, teens, temperatures 15, 20 degrees below normal. Perfect ice growing weather, perfect weather to keep the snow intact. And then just like that, the temperatures flip from really, really cold to much above normal. We've had high temperatures as recently as the 40s, pushing nearly 20 degrees above normal. And that will put a big dent in the ice out there on the lakes. Temperatures right now, 29 in Madison. That's our normal high for this time of year. Sweeping out here the rest of southern Wisconsin, upper 20s, right around 30 degrees out there. Heads up again. Repeat of last night, some patchy fog is expected overnight again tonight, going on into your Sunday morning. Visibility is dropping just a touch, down to 2 in Monroe and 5 in Janesville, although I've seen that visibility as low as a half a mile in Monroe. We will track hour by hour the visibility expectations tonight with their future track model and which parts of southern Wisconsin stand the better chances for that fog. And then how warm do you want the temperatures to go? I've got all that coming up in Maine weather.
Alex, thank you. Did you go to the Super Bowl today? No, not the NFL Super Bowl. I'm talking about the UW Habitat for Humanity Super Bowl. Today at West High School, they hosted the Super Bowl 28. Attendees enjoyed meals in ceramic bowls made by students which were for visitors to keep. There were activities and even an appearance from Bucky. But as event director Hunter Downey described, it was all for a local cause.
We're all college kids coming together to support our sponsor family. Our sponsor family is building a home right here in Madison, and all the proceeds from this event go towards them. And on top of supporting our sponsor family, we're just here to educate people about Habitat for Humanity and promote affordable housing.
They say Super Bowl 28 was a Very harsh matchup between clam chowder and chicken noodle soup, but there was also live music as well from Shibi and the Love Makers. Today, the community got to meet a Badger football player headed to the NFL draft. Linebacker Muma Jongmeta visited the U.S. Cellular store on the west side to speak to visitors and provide autographs. Jongmeta has partnered with U.S. Cellular throughout the season in a name, image, and likeness deal. He highlighted his work in promoting the company's phone features that encourage users to moderate their phone usage to connect better with others in person.
Here to support local businesses and just encourage people to disconnect from their phones and put the phones down, get in us mode, and really connect with their friends, their family, and learning ways to encouraging people to kind of use technology in healthier ways.
Jongmeta was named to the academic All-Big Ten team this season. He will look for his name to be called at the upcoming NFL draft, which will take place April 25th through the 27th. 2 people were arrested in the overnight hours today after stabbings in Fitchburg. It happened in the Belmar neighborhood near the Beltline. Fitchburg police responded to a large group gathering in the street. One vehicle had deliberately crashed into another one, and 2 individuals were stabbed. Non-life-threatening injuries were reported. Police say the people involved knew each other, and there is no known threat to the general public. The man sought by Madison police for a fatal hit-and-run crash has turned himself in. 59-year-old Jules Taugna-Taman had been identified as a suspect on Tuesday for the incident on the Beltline at Fish Hatchery Road that took place late Friday last week. A woman in her 20s died after being struck by the vehicle Taugna-Taman was driving. Taugna-Taman turned himself in late last night and has been booked into the Dane County Jail. We were learning more tonight about those U.S. airstrikes in the Middle East as retaliation over the killings of 3 American soldiers overseas. As CBS's Christian Benavides reports, the targets were all facilities belonging to Iranian-backed militia groups.
Late Saturday, the U.S. and the U.K. announced they've conducted airstrikes against Iranian-backed Houthi targets in Yemen. This is in addition to Friday's retaliatory strikes. Images broadcast on Syrian state TV claiming to show the aftermath of those airstrikes across Iraq and Syria. The Defense Department says it hit several sites Friday, including command and control centers, weapon depots, and drone storage facilities. All of them linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard and affiliated militia groups. But the U.S. did not hit targets inside Iran.
The goal here is to get these attacks to stop. We are not looking for a war with Iran.
In a call with reporters, Biden administration officials said the strikes specifically targeted groups that meant to do Americans harm. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria have been targeted at least 165 times.
This wasn't just a message-sending routine tonight. This was about degrading capability.
Iran has also reacted to the strikes, the country's interior minister condemning the attacks, saying it will naturally lead to the flames of the resistance and that the U.S. should act wisely. The response came 5 days after a drone struck sleeping quarters and an American outpost in Jordan, injuring 40 and killing Army reservist soldiers Will Rivers, Breonna Moffett, and Kennedy Sanders. President Biden ordered the strikes just hours after he attended the dignified transfer of the remains of those 3 U.S. soldiers. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Saturday strikes hit 36 different targets located in 13 different locations around Yemen. This is in addition to strikes in self-defense against 6 Houthi anti-ship cruise missiles in the Red Sea. Coming up next, massive wildfires in central Chile have damaged thousands of homes. We have the details. And later, 1 year after a toxic train derailment in Ohio, we hear from the U.S. Secretary of Transportation on what he has to say about the aftermath.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now get a new F-150 with 1.9% APR financing for 72 months. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Every accident is different. Different driving conditions, different injuries, different life circumstances. The insurance companies often use these circumstances to avoid paying you what you deserve. At Gruber Law Offices, we know how insurance companies can take advantage after an accident. Trust our experience and history of successfully helping our clients. And remember, there is never a fee until we win. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
A concert experience you won't want to miss. It's the Commodores. Performing live Saturday, February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. 70 million albums sold, 7 #1 hits. The Grammy Award-winning Commodores. February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
The Monsters of Destruction are coming, and coming with a vengeance. Redneck Rampage against the Grain, War Wizard, Double Trouble, and the Veteran are ready to put on one heck of a show. Plus, Freestyle Motocross is back. X-Games rider Willie Elam and friends with action you don't want to miss. Day and night shows ready to blow your mind. Every ticket is a pit pass. Come early to meet the drivers. Take a ride in a real monster truck. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Alliant Energy Center February 3rd and 4th. Get your tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
After driving cattle in the 1880s, hitting the hay could be a literal experience. But some lucky cowpokes got to sack out in a brand new Sealy mattress. And after 140 years, Sealy is still delivering a great night's sleep. That's why Denver Mattress is proud to offer the Sealy Posturepedic Plus Hybrid. With cool-to-touch covers, body-hugging memory foams, and motion-reducing coils, you'll sleep cooler and more comfortably all night long. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Sealy.
Sunday after the Grammy Awards, this year's Grammy nominees will get a Southern Wisconsin surprise in their gift bags. Get a look at these hair pieces. They're from a Janesville company looking to forge new style standards for men. Sunday on News 3 Now at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Out-of-control wildfires consumed in the central Valparaiso region of Chile on Friday night, burning through thousands of acres. According to Chile's national forestry body, CONAF, some 7,000 acres in Valparaiso alone have been burned. Throughout the country, there were at least 158 reported wildfires as of Friday evening. High temperatures and strong winds have been blamed for fanning the fires, which in the last few hours have moved into densely populated areas. According to local media, preliminary reports claim about 1,100 homes have been damaged and 46 people have died. And that's not the only fire to tell you about. Check this out. This huge blaze coming from an abandoned 5-story warehouse could have been seen for miles in the St. Louis area early today, with at least 80 firefighters on the scene, according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. The St. Louis Fire Department said that several parts of the building had collapsed, but that fire services personnel and equipment were operating outside the collapse zone as they continue to battle the ongoing blaze. Well, it's the opposite of that here, as we send it over to meteorologist Alex Harrington for your First One forecast.
Yeah, indeed, Jalen. At least, but we do have the mild weather, warm weather that we're really going to be tracking by the time we go through all the 3 things you need to know. Heads up, though, again, that patchy fog still a possibility, just like we saw last night. Same deal tonight. That warm weather, record warmth, I'm very confident we're going to be pushing those record temperatures, if not eclipse them. More on that in just a moment. Then tracking rain, not snow, although there is some snow in the 10-day forecast, but rain before that. Overnight tonight, just like we saw last night, get a little bit of that melting snow, mild temperatures that causes the mild temperatures and the moisture with that snow to form clouds near the ground called fog. That will be patchy overnight, carrying on into your Sunday morning. Pad visibility is as low as a half a mile in Monroe, 5 in Janesville, but when you start to see the visibilities come down a bit, the atmosphere is starting to produce that foggy conditions. And as we carry on here with our future track visibility model going towards midnight, could be seeing that expansion of the reduction of visibility, especially for Madison, points towards the north. Although our future track visibility model wants to expand a little bit further to the south, we all stand the chance of seeing a little bit of that patchy fog for your Sunday morning. But good news is that sun's going to break through that by the time we get to the lunch hour, just like what we saw today. Beautiful sunshine for the afternoon hours. Temperatures tonight, Again, lows around 29 degrees here. Current temperatures are right here at 29 degrees here in Madison. Lower 30s over portions of southwestern Wisconsin, and that's what we should expect for this time of year. A little bit closer to home here. 29, 30, pretty popular, and again, 27 as our normal temperatures for this time of year. Forecast is spot on, 29, dip to 27, little fog at 7 a.m. and then in the 30s by the time we get towards the end of the day after a high temperature up right around lower 40s, middle 40s in some cases. Again, our lows tonight, there are normal highs for this time of year. A warm day on your Sunday with plenty of sunshine. High temperatures over the next 10 days. There's that 53. That could be actually a little bit warmer looking at some of our latest weather models. Then as we go out further into the period there towards 10 days, temperatures getting a little closer to normal. And that's where we might have a couple of snowflakes mixing in. That wet weather system Thursday going into Friday, 10 to a quarter of an inch of water expected, a little bit more to the north and towards the west, closer to the center of that storm system as it moves through. Again, 40s, then we go into the 50s. After that weather system, first heads up, could get a little messy Sunday, Monday going into Tuesday. Weather models pretty consistent showing the possibility of some rain, maybe mixing with some wet snow. But even though those temperatures are above normal and much of February is looking above normal in the temperature department, that doesn't mean that our temperatures are going to be cold enough that we won't still have the chance for some wet snow. And that's something I think is good to talk about, Jalen, even though we're expecting a warm February overall. For sure. 30s are warm for this time of year. That would be considered above normal, and that's cold enough, though, still to get some wet snowflakes, which we could see this time next weekend on Sunday going into Monday the following week.
I don't want to think about precipitation just yet. I know that we have needed it, though, because we had a major drought last summer.
Yes, definitely helpful.
So, for our farmers and then just in general, hopefully we can continue to get some precipitation so we don't end up having the fires like some of the stories we had before weather.
Yeah, for sure. These months are critical for us to get as much moisture as we can get, because by the time we get into March, April, and May, we start marching towards the growing season. Yeah. So we need to replenish the soil moisture.
For sure. Thank you, Alex.
For sure.
A year ago today, a freight train carrying hazardous materials derailed in the town of East Palestine, Ohio, resulting in major environmental and economic damage. And in that year, residents near that accident still have more questions than answers. John Delano has the story.
The Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, just a quarter mile from the Pennsylvania state line, included 20 rail cars with hazardous materials that spilled into land, water, and air. Can we say a year later, why did this happen, Mr. Secretary?
Well, here's what I'll say. We have learned a lot already. Even though the NTSB is still doing work on the root causes of this, that hasn't stopped us from getting to work right away on measures that can make railroading in America safer.
Can you give us any definitive idea of what went wrong?
Well, in terms of the definitive answer, by law, that will come not from me, but the National Transportation Safety Board. Their independence is something I respect a great deal. But they already have put out some preliminary findings relating to what happened in the wheels.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says it's not just track quality that matters, but the train cars themselves, especially train wheels, bearings, and brakes, which the NTSB cited in a preliminary report. Buttigieg won't criticize the NTSB, saying it's more important to get it right than fast. But he did criticize Congress for failing to pass the Bipartisan Railway Safety Act, sponsored by senators in Ohio and Pennsylvania and local Congressman Chris DeLuzio.
I am disappointed that there hasn't been more action on Capitol Hill.
This bill would increase fines against railway companies and include safety measures like stronger chemical tank cars and required wayside defect detectors along tracks to detect defects and failures in train cars earlier. Let me ask you about Norfolk Southern and whether you are satisfied that they have done all that they can do to help residents in both Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Norfolk Southern is responsible for cleaning up the mess they made. I'll tell you who's not responsible for this is the people who live in and around East Palestine, who through no fault of their own had their lives upended.
And although Norfolk Southern has done some things, Buttigieg says,
we're far from being able to say that that's complete or that we're in a position to be satisfied because we know there's more work to be done to make the people of those communities whole.
And as we mark 1 year since the derailment, I asked Buttigieg if he had a message to the people affected by it.
My message is that we're going to continue to support these communities to thrive, for the families in them to do well and to make sure that they know that we have their back. But also, we're not going to let this incident go without major changes in the railroad industry and in railroad law in this country.
And he says the goal is to make sure this never happens again.
As of January, the railroad's costs related to the derailment were $1.1 billion, with $101 million in insurance payments issued. And with more cleanup and penalties still to come, costs are expected to rise further. Coming up in sports, Wisconsin's men's hockey team needed overtime to get their revenge against Minnesota. But could they come out victorious? Andrew's got your highlights next on News 3 Now.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Mercedes and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings, going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Snowy streets, we're coming for you. Icy grip, we're holding tight. Wintry mix, meh. Safety's the name of our game. Yours, Toyota all-wheel drive sedans.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 60 months on a stylish new 2024 Camry. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
If you haven't been to the Legend of Bergamot in the last 5 years, you will be stunned. It's the fastest growing club and community anywhere in this state. It's a spectacular lifestyle. Have you stood on our balcony at sunset? The view of miles of countryside over a perfect golf course with the sun setting just over your left shoulder. It's pretty good. Come become a member. If you just want to do it a little bit, come be our guest.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Nominate the Best of Madison online today, including Beef Butter Barbecue for Best Barbecue, Best Catering. Cast a nomination for Beef Butter Barbecue and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
People are switching to Spectrum Internet. Let's see why.
We count on Spectrum Internet and the advanced Wi-Fi to always keep us connected and protected.
It's so reliable and fast.
Get Spectrum Internet with 99.9% reliability for $49.99 a month with free advanced Wi-Fi, free modem, and free security suite for 12 months with no added taxes or fees and no contracts. Save even more with our new 2-year price guarantee when you level up to 1 gig. Call 1-833-548-4999 or scan to call.
Ever since we switched to Spectrum Internet, our daughter's curiosity has a new spark.
Now we're saving a ton.
Since Spectrum Internet is fast and reliable, we don't worry about interruptions.
Amazing.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month with free advanced Wi-Fi. Save even more with our new 2-year price guarantee when you level up to 1 gig. Call 1-833-548-4999.
Call now.
Join the digital sales team at Phase 3 Digital and step into something big. We're not just hiring, we're building careers. If you're passionate about the digital world, apply today at channel3000.com and be part of something big.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Mercedes and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings, going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
After losing to Minnesota in overtime last night, the border battle on ice continued tonight in front of a sold-out Kohl Center, and spoiler alert, we needed overtime again tonight. And as if overtime wasn't good enough, we got more free hockey, a shootout. This is what you live for. Gophers missed their first shot, so here comes Quinn Finley. Nothing too fancy, but he scoops the puck around the netminder for the goal. Take another look at that one. How about it? And then William Whitelaw with the chance to end this thing once and for all, right at the keeper, and it is a GOAL goal. The Badgers tie the Gophers and win the shootout. What a thrilling weekend for the men. 1-1 is your final. In the span of 25 hours, there are not one, not two, not three, but 4 different top 10 matchups on UW's campus. We just talked about one of them, but the women's hockey team are another. The women played St. Cloud State today looking for their 10th straight win, but the Huskies took an early lead. They'd try to add to it here. Look at the glove save, though, from Jane Gervais. How about a slow-mo look at that one? Just snipes it out of thin air. Bucky would need all of her 24 saves. And then in the second period, Badgers trying to claw back. Shots no good from Vivian Jungles, but Maddie Wheeler in the right place at the right time. She nets the goal. The Badgers go on to win it in overtime, and we'll look for the sweep tomorrow. Did we mention top 10 so far in this show? Well, the big one of the weekend is tomorrow when 6th-ranked Wisconsin hosts number 2 Purdue as the Badgers try to rebound from a collapse at Nebraska. That'll all be forgotten about if they can take care of business against the Boilermakers. The teams come in just about tied for first place in the Big Ten, and the Boilermakers bring 7'4" Zach Edey, the reigning National Player of the Year, to Madison. There's a lot on these guys' minds heading into the big game, so I asked the Stars a simple question. What do you like about Purdue?
Yeah, they run really well. You know, they play really well together. Love the way they play well and compete, and you know it's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, they're a really good team, really good coached. Got some really talented players, and they got Zach Edey. So I mean, that's the nicest thing I can say about it.
And the Bucks in Dallas trying to take down the Mavericks. Milwaukee trailed by as much as 24 in the first half, but clawed all the way back. Down 1 as the third quarter winds down, and the Greek Freak goes coast to coast to finish the layup. Gives the Bucks a 93-92 lead, but could they finish it off? Giannis doing his thing. Jab step. How about you drive at the rim and throw the hammer down? The Greek Freak wills the Bucks to a 129-117 win. He'd finish with 48 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals. Quite the stat line. By the way, Doc Rivers got his first win as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. And this is kind of a weird thing, but with that win, he'll be the head coach for the Eastern Conference in the All-Star game this year. Doesn't make much sense. Obviously, his only game, there's kind of some logistics that go into it. Last year's would-be head coach coached in the game last year as well. Kind of a weird thing, but Doc Rivers and the entire Bucks coaching staff will be at the All-Star game. Big win for the Bucks today.
Yeah, good to see them in the winning column now. And Giannis always doing his thing.
48 points. I mean, come on. It's just average for him. It's like, oh, yeah, 48 points from Giannis. No, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Andrew. We'll be back with more after this.
The highest art is beautiful, timeless, inspired by the divine. Shen Yun. Coming to Milwaukee and Madison, February 3rd through the 11th.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get right to the point. It's the President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress.
Madam President, what's that mean for the average American?
It means saving $100 off every $1,000 you spend.
And Tempur-Pedic?
With bipartisan support, we've allocated a $300 gift with the purchase of any Tempur-Pedic.
And how will the people pay for these so-called savings?
Try 6 years, no interest, and free shipping. The President's Day Super Sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
So, what did we learn today? That Spectrum One gives people everything that they need at a great price. And what are those things?
Super fast internet.
Comes with it, yes.
A line of unlimited mobile.
Now we're cooking, yes, comes with it.
Free advanced Wi-Fi.
Also comes with it. What else do people want, guys?
A sense of purpose and direction in life.
It does come with state-of-the-art security features, which is kind of like the same thing.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month with free advanced Wi-Fi and a free line of unlimited mobile for 12 months. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
Hi, I'm Steve Bozeman from Steve's Auto Sales in Madison. I came up with a great sale for you guys, $29.99. I have 10 cars in that price range. Stop by today if you want the best deals in Madison. We have the warranties available. We also have financing for these $29.99 cars. Go to stevesAutoTruckSales.net. I'm located on Stoughton Road. Stop by and I'll give you the best deal in town. Steve's Auto Sales, the best deals in Madison. Search for Steve's on your phone right now.
The monsters of destruction are coming, and coming with a vengeance. Redneck Rampage Against the Grain, War Wizard, Double Trouble, and the Veteran are ready to put on one heck of a show. Plus, Freestyle Motocross is back. X-Games rider Willie Elam and friends with action you don't want to miss. Day and night shows ready to blow your mind. Every ticket is a pit pass. Come early to meet the drivers. Take a ride in a real monster truck. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Alliant Energy Center, February 3rd and 4th. Get your tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy two, you get two free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy Two, Get Two free sale is for a limited time.
That's a great deal. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Nominate the Best of Madison online today, including Harker Heating and Cooling for Best Heating and Cooling. Nominate Harker and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
The highest art is beautiful, timeless, inspired by the divine. Shen Yun. Coming to Milwaukee and Madison, February 3rd through the 11th.
Watch Wisconsin Huddle, Friday nights at 6:30.
Well, here's what's trending now. There's been extensive coverage over Taylor Swift's scheduled concert in Japan before she's set to attend the Super Bowl the following day. Now, the Japanese embassy in the United States is weighing in with confidence that this arrangement can work. They say, quote, anyone concerned can be fearless in knowing that this talented performer can wow Japanese audiences and still make it to Las Vegas to support the Chiefs when they take the field for the Super Bowl wearing red.
Busy performer.
You know,
Absolutely.
I'm all about that, and I love Taylor Swift, and I love her involvement in the NFL, but how have we gotten to this point in the world where the embassy is putting out a statement about Taylor Swift getting to the Super Bowl? Like,
when you're at the top, you're at the top.
It's true, and I love Taylor Swift, don't get me wrong, but how did we get to this point in the world?
I won't say anything. Alex,
easy transition to weather. I can change the topic here. Hey, let's give a shout out here to Sean. Pretty picture at Vilas Park. Look at the contrast, snow and the pretty colors there. It looks like, I think, a slide there, but the snow is going to be going away as those temperatures climb into the 40s, then into the 50s, and even next weekend, we make it a little messy weather. Temperatures are still in the 30s, and that's above normal still this time of year.
We can keep the Taylor Swift puns going. We'll definitely be in a state of grace with these temps.